Hi, Leon here. Welcome to session 2 of your Let's Move journey. Today we are going to focus on movements for life. As human beings, we are designed to move, and different situations throughout the day will require you to move in different ways. These can be referred to as foundational movements, and the better, stronger we become at performing those movements, the easier these physical daily tasks of life become. Today we will focus on a range of foundational movements, including squat, lunge and step, rotation, pull, plank and hinge. Don't worry if those movements sound a little bit intimidating, because you will already be performing them within your daily life. Right everybody, let's go catch up with my mum. We're going to get warmed up. Welcome back, Mum.
Thank you.
Good to see you. You've been doing your own work?
Yes,
Excellent.
definitely.
Before we get going in the warm-up, quick posture check. So if you're doing it from seated, Mum, shuffle to the front third of your chair. Up as tall as you can be, shoulders back and down, chin parallel to the floor. If you're doing it from standing, make sure you've got a good wide base of support, soft knees, and again, shoulders back and down, chest out, chin up. You can use the chair for support if you need it, alongside the chair, or fully supported from behind the chair. The first movement we are going to get into is a heel pump. So keep the toes on the floor, and we're going to lift the heels off the floor, keeping the toes on the floor. So we're starting to open up that ankle joint. Can you feel that, Mum?
I can, yes. I think I went wrong at the beginning. I lifted it up and then...
Ah, you see. You were.
And then you said keep the...
You were jumping the gun.
Yeah, keep the toes on the floor.
Yeah. So a nice good heel pump. We're gonna, for the warm-up, we're going to work up the body. Okay, we're gonna finish off at the neck. And start to take it into a lower body march. So a lower body march, lift the knees and the feet come off.
Toes down first.
So, yep, as the foot goes back down towards the floor, it's toes to heel. Okay, toes to heel as they go back down. Start to lift those knees a little bit higher. Let's get some greater movement through the hips and the knees.
I'm trying.
No, that's good. And relax. Right, taking it into a side bend. So palms facing inwards. We're going to slide one hand down one side, down towards the floor, slowly come back up and then take it out the other side. Don't lean forwards or backwards, and make sure that you keep your head in line with your spine. So don't leave your head behind, take your head with you. One more each side. And relax. Arms stay alongside the body, palms facing out, elbows tucked in. We're going palms to the ceiling, palms to the floor. Palms to the ceiling, palms to the floor. So we're warming up the elbow joint this time, Mum.
Yeah.
And relax there. Working down the arms, we're going to take it into wrist circles. So pick a direction, as long as they're going in a circle.
Yeah.
Circular motion. And then change direction.
Yeah.
These feel all right for you?
Yeah, they're fine. I do have swollen wrists, but yeah,
Good.
that feels fine.
And relax in there. Just going to finish off with the last two, which is going to be rotation. So a little look over your shoulder, back to center, and then turn out the other side, little look over your shoulder. And again, the range of movement is down to you. Whatever you feel confident and comfortable in doing. And relax when you get back. And then the last one, with the neck, we're going to look left, back to center, and look right. Back to center. One more each side. and relax. Everybody, shake it all off. Shake it all off, Mum. All right, so that is the warm-up finished. That should have prepared us for the main workout. The first foundational movement is the squat. Are you ready?
Oh, not sure about a squat.
The movement for the squat, Mum, so you're going to be working out of your chair, okay? So you're already in good posture. Draw the heels back, chest out, chin up, lean forwards in so your body weight's coming over your toes, and then power on up into standing. You can use the sides of the chair or have your hands on your legs if you need to. Pedal the feet when you get to the top for circulation, and make sure you can feel the chair behind the back of your legs before you sit slow and controlled back into that chair, okay? Right, from standing, again, good wide base of support. Make sure your body weight's evenly distributed through those feet. Keep your chin up and the hips go back and down, and you've got the chair for support if you need it, or the dining room table or the kitchen worktops, okay? So when you're ready, let's go. So I'm performing a standing squat with additional support if I need it. And my mum's doing a sit to stand with a little pedal at the top. So the squat, okay, we're performing this movement all the time. So think of the movement through the knees and the hips, okay, we're undertaking this movement throughout the day, getting in and out of cars, sitting down, standing up, getting up off the floor, getting out of bed. It's a functional move that we're doing all the time. And relaxing there. So for each individual foundational movement we're going to focus on, we're going to complete them 3 times. And the first time, which we've just done, is really you processing that information of how to do. So what the exercise looks like and what it feels like for you, so you can adapt it and go at your own pace. The next time we do it, we're looking to master this movement. So what I want you to do this time is, I want you to slow it down on the way in, and I want you to come out of the squat into standing a little bit quicker.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you're ready, off you go. So slow in and then out a lot quicker. And remember, you're standing back up to that return. That's good standing posture as well, where you've got your chin up and your chest up and your shoulders back and down. And at this point, if you're feeling comfortable and confident enough, okay, try and increase, especially in this standing position, the range of movement, okay? So it's that depth that we can get as we sit back down into this squat. And relax in there. Everything okay, Mum?
Yes, that's fine.
Do you feel as though you can be challenged a little bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Good stuff. Just as well, because I've got a nice heavy tin of beans here for you, Mum. So this is where we can use resistance, because we can add a bit of weight. We're going to increase the intensity because we're having to obviously lift more, all right? I'm going to use a water bottle, and you can't use any support this time. So if you've already found your level, do the exercise that you've just done, exactly the same. If not, we're going to go in exactly the same movement of the squat, but we're going to hold on to this object as well. So when you're ready, off you go. So we've now got added weight, which means the thigh muscles have to work a little bit harder. Also, we can't hold on to the support. So we've got no support, we're having to stabilize, we're having to balance, but just remember, we still need good technique as well. And the object you use can be anything, okay? Anything in the house, as long as you can hold it and get a good grasp of it and you're not going to drop it. And relax in there. Slowly back down, Mum. How did that feel?
That were fine, thank you.
All right, can you feel those quads working?
Yes.
Great stuff. We're now going to move on to the next foundational movement, which is the lunge. So moving on to the next foundational movement, Mum, I want you to think about when you take a forward step to start in everyday life. So when we take a forward step there's a transfer of body weight onto that front leg, okay? So don't think about lunges as you see people lunging, but more of a step forward, okay? So we've got the chair for support if we need it. We take a step forward, we keep the foot flat on the floor, and we're stepping onto a soft knee, keep the body up nice and tall. We change legs. So we're there and back. So when you're ready, off you go. And with this, we can call it a step, and that step can be as shallow as you need to make it, okay? So we can go in there, as long as we get a little bit of transfer of body weight and we're transferring onto a soft knee, that's great. And then depending on your leg strength and your ability and range of movement, we can start to bend that back knee down towards the floor a little bit, okay? And challenge yourself a little bit more. And relax when you step back. Everything okay with those?
Yes.
They can be quite challenging because you're on a narrow base of support, so it does upset your balance a little bit, and this is why we've got the chair for support if we need it.
Yes.
Okay? That was a forward lunge. If we can go forwards, Mum, what else can we do?
We can go backwards.
Of course we can. We can go backwards, and this is very important, okay? So, up nice and tall, soft knees, we take a step back, and we've got a nice soft knee again on the front leg. Off you go. So we're into a back lunge, and we're kind of sat up nice and tall, chin parallel to the floor. You don't need to look at your feet. I know you're not, Mum, so that's good. But there is a tendency to go like this.
It is hard not to look at your feet.
Yeah. Now this back step, it's remaining strong and stable when we take a back step. And again, it can be just a little bit of a toe tap, transferring that body weight backwards and then stepping back forwards. Okay.
Really have to concentrate on that one.
That's what it's there for. And relax. All right with those ones? Right, moving on to the last exercise for the lunge. We've gone backwards. We've been forwards.
Side to side.
Left? Yeah, side to side. So, Mum, you're going to go into a lateral rocker. We did these on the mobility session. So nice, good wide stance. Toes slightly out. And just transfer that body weight from left to right. And then I'm going to advance it a little bit, feet together, standing behind the chair. I'm going to step onto a soft knee, body up tall, and then step back. I'm going to stay on the same side, and then I'm going to change halfway through. Okay. So keep your body up nice and tall, Mum. Let the legs do the work, and make sure you keep your feet flat on the floor. Okay. And we're halfway through, so I'm going to move that over there slightly. I'm going to take it out the other side. And again, if I keep my head up, and I take a good step onto a soft knee, I'm nice and stable. Now if you've got a long side worktop, you could use that in the house, there, and back. And relax. Everything okay?
Yes.
So lunge, very practical movement, but really think of it as a step. Left, right, back, forward, all those different directions. Next foundational movement is going to be rotation. Before we get started, Mum, because you're doing it in standing, make sure that you've got a nice, good, wide base of support with your weight evenly distributed through those feet. You're up nice and tall as you can possibly be, shoulders back and down, chin parallel to the floor, and we're creating as much space between those discs and vertebrae of the spine, okay? The first movement for rotation is a little look over the shoulder, back to center, and then turn out the other side, a little look over the shoulder, back to center. Mum, one hand on top of the other, elbows nice and high. You're going to do it from this position, exactly the same movement. when you're ready, let's go. So all the time, remain up nice and tall. Or as tall as you can possibly be. And you dictate the range of movement. Okay? If you do suffer from back pain, just be careful when you're turning out. Take it as far as you feel comfortable. Last couple. And relax in there. Everything okay with those, Mum?
Yeah.
So, rotation, we're doing it all the time. So, even if you spend 5 minutes in the kitchen, you're rotating, putting the kettle on, turning out, going to the fridge, picking things out of the cupboards, putting things back in the cupboards, okay? So, we're gonna make it a bit more functional this time. Imagine you've got an imaginary box, okay? We're gonna go down to one side and pick up the box, and then we're gonna transfer up and put the box on the shelf. So we're going low to high. We're gonna change halfway through.
Okay.
So when you're ready, let's go. So we pick up the box, back to center, and then imagine you're putting it in to the top shelf, okay? You need to put this box as far away as possible, Mum, because I know what yours has got in it.
Chocolates.
Exactly. And have a good reach up as far as you feel comfortable or you're able to reach, and relax. We're going to pick the box up from the opposite side this time and change sides. So by focusing on this box, it actually encourages more movement, and you can almost picture yourself putting that box in that top shelf, top cupboard, and relax in there. Great stuff. Everything okay with those?
Yes,
Bit
fine.
more challenging from a standing position. Right, if you are up for mixing it up and stepping it up a level,
I think you were having that.
Shall
Or
I have that
am
one?
I having this?
it's up to you. You want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have that one. So we're adding a little bit of resistance this time. So we've got, instead of a box, we've got physical object. And we're going to do exactly the same movement, but we've now got more weight, okay? So when you're ready, we're going to go down one side, we'll change halfway through. Off you go. So you can use any, well, I'm not going to say any household object, but as long as you can grip it and you're not going to drop it and it's not too heavy, then you can use it. And relax. Go on to the other side, Mum. So pick up from the other side. I don't see why I'd need to put tins of beans in top cupboard. And relax there. Everything okay?
Yes, that's fine.
No, it's not leaking, is it?
No, it's quite heavy, that.
It is quite heavy, it is quite heavy. But you managed it,
Yeah.
that is the key.
Yeah.
And you're in pain-free movement at the same time, weren't you?
Yeah, it pulls a bit.
It pulls a bit, but not, yeah, great stuff. Excellent, well done. So that's rotation. We're now moving on to pull. Right, Mum. First two exercises for the pull section are going to be focusing on the front of the arm with a bicep curl. So make sure you're up as tall as you can be. I'm going to use some resistance, and my mum's going to use some resistance. So I've got 2 bottles of water, my mum's got 2 tins of beans. You can use as much weight or as little weight as you want to, and you don't actually have to use any weight, to be fair, on these ones. Palms face inwards, okay? And one at a time, you're going to lift the hand and turn the palm so the palm comes into the shoulder and back down, and then change sides. So when you're ready, off you go. So bicep curl, this is an alternate bicep curl to start. So when we think about the pulling action that we perform on a daily basis, lifting and carrying shopping, opening doors, It's that type of movement. And again, this it's all relevant to you, so you can make it as easy or as hard as you want with the resistance that you're using. And relax in there. How did you find that, Mum?
That's okay.
Is that all right? Because I know you suffered a little bit with your frozen
shoulder.
You got a frozen shoulder, but also your
Impingement.
tennis elbow, didn't
Yes,
you?
that's that side.
All right. Was it okay on your tennis elbow? Right. So we're gonna go in again, okay? But we're gonna go both together this time, okay? So we need to be nice and strong to avoid that rocking, all right? And we do exactly the same movement where the palms come into the shoulder, both together, and then slow and controlled back down to the starting position. When you're ready, off you go. So these are a great exercise to tone the arms, Mum. Do you fancy toning your arms? But because the amount of time that we use the arms and lifting and carrying, it's important that we remain strong in this area. So you can see all the movement on a bicep curl is coming through the elbow, which is gonna keep that joint nice and supple and reduce stiffness through that elbow joint as well. And relax. So 2 bicep exercises that we've just done. We're moving now on to a bent over row. So we need to make sure that you create as much space through the vertebrae as possible, so up as tall as you can be. You're going to hip hinge forwards. Make sure you've got a stable base and your feet are flat on the floor, hip width apart. So as we come over, don't let the head go. As we come over into there, we're going to lift the elbows and squeeze the shoulders at the top and then slowly back down. So when you're ready, off you go. And I know, Mum, this one really gets your shoulder, this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets my left shoulder, yeah.
And obviously you can see my mum's range of movement at the minute will be slightly different on one side than the other. But that's fine, because she's just working within her own range of movement and she can just look to take it as far as she can comfortably take it. And remember to have a nice good squeeze of them shoulder blades together at the top so you get some muscle activation through the muscles in the upper back. And relax in there. Slowly sit back up. Okay, you can put your resistance back down. Right, everyone, that was the pull exercises. Did you enjoy them, Mum?
Yes, that's fine.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
We are now moving on to hinge and plank. So the hinge for exercise number 1, we're gonna have a nice stable base of support. Mum, you're gonna do yours from seated. We're gonna hinge at the hips forwards, okay, as far as you feel comfortable, and then slowly come back up, keeping the legs nice and straight. All right, good stable base of support with this one, and make sure you keep your bum on the chair. Okay, so when you're ready, off you go, and we're taking it down, taking the upper body down as far as we can comfortably go and back up. If you are doing it in standing, you could hinge forward towards the dining room table or the kitchen side. So you've got a little bit of something there for support, as long as we keep the legs straight and all the movement is coming through the hips. Just remember, if you're doing it from standing, don't overbalance. Okay, as well from seated, don't overbalance. And relax in there. Everything okay, Mum?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
good.
that's okay.
So moving on to the last one is the plank. Now, I want you to really think about the structure of the upper body, all right? Kind of the spine, the positioning of the spine. And when we're always referring to being up as tall as you can be, that is you holding a plank position. So for example, my mum's here, she's up nice and tall. If I were now to give her a little nudge I can feel her. I can feel those muscles activating, and she's quite nice and solid in that position. That is a positioning that I'm referring to when I'm talking about a plank. So we're gonna get into a nice steady march, but maintaining this good solid plank position. Okay, so when you're ready, let's go. So shoulders are back and down, the chest out, so as if you were marching or walking with a little bit of confidence, or lots of confidence, as we would like. And all that time, the stomach muscles are engaged. And you can feel the muscles fatiguing. I mean, I can feel them in my lower back at this moment in time. So I'm really concentrating on trying to keep that upright position. And relax. Well done, Mum.
Thank you.
That concludes today's foundational movement workout. Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, great. Thank you.
Excellent. Just remember, when we focus on the plank position, we're trying to maintain the length and the structure and the support of the spine with the stomach muscles. Okay? Right, Mum, we need to get cooled down. Shuffle to the front third of your chair. Okay, up as tall as you can be. Take one foot out, bring the toes back towards yourself, chest out, chin up, lean forwards until you start to feel that stretch in the back of your leg. Okay? So we're gonna hold these stretches for about 15 to 20 seconds. Now this one's gonna really get into your calf muscle and your lower part of your leg, and also the hamstrings at the back of your thighs. And slowly back up, change legs. So same again, toes back towards yourself, chest out, chin up, and lean in. Just keeping it under tension. If you are feeling any pain at this point, then obviously just reduce that tension for me. And slowly back up. Hands down by your side, we're going into a side stretch, which is a side bend, the movement that we're creating. So take one hand down towards the floor. Key to this one is to keep your bum in contact with the chair, and make sure that you keep your head in line. So don't let your head go either way. Just try and keep it in a neutral position. Slowly back up, and then take it back down the other side. Hold that position. Try and create as much space through the rib cage and between the ribs and the hip. And slowly back up. Next one, we're going into rotation. So we're just going to rotate out, little look over the shoulder and hold that stretch. Getting some nice good rotation in through the spine. And again, just work within your own range of movement. And slowly back round, take it out the other side. Little look over the shoulder. And as you can see, me and my mum are doing a slightly different one, so you can pick your level on this one. And relax. Big roll of the shoulders up and back and down. We're going to finish off with the neck. So look left. Back to centre. Look right. Back to centre. Chin down towards your chest, as far as you can go. And then a little look up. And relax. Just shake everything off. Everybody give yourselves a big clap. Excellent work today. So that concludes today's session. Don't go anywhere, because coming up is your activity dose. Before we move into this week's activity dose, just a quick recap on last session. We focused on reducing the amount of time sitting to ideally no more than 30 minutes at any one time, completing a daily posture check, and recording those all-important pain levels whilst exercising. For this week's activity dose, refer back to today's session, looking at the foundational movements that we have just completed, and using your activity tracker, record and link those exercises to activities of daily living. It will be great to see what you've been getting up to, so feel free to post out on our social media pages, either via comment, video, or picture. And it's been a pleasure working with you again today, hasn't it, Mum? And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye.